Guys, Brandy here. Welcome to my car. I have just pulled up to the Bread Beckers. Um, the Bread Beckers is like it's a big grain type co-op, and it's about 25-ish minutes from my house in Woodstock, Georgia. It's a county over from my home county. And I have been wanting to come out here, one, because they also carry some infused olive oils and vinegars. Y'all know I love infused olive oils. And I love Olive Tree and Vine. That's my friend's store I always tell you about. And they have certain varieties that I love. But Bread Beckers, the company that they carry, have a few that are different that I have also grown to love. So I've been meaning to get up here and haven't had time because I have empty bottles to bring. If you bring your bottles back to them, you get like the deposit back on the bottles, and so you don't have to pay for that again when you get more oil. And you can even switch sizes and all that kind of stuff. So I want to get some of that, and I want to go ahead and make a purchase of some organic soft white wheat, and I also want to get some organic hard red wheat. And I have tons of Kamut. I have stocked up well on that. I have a good bit of corn and all that kind of stuff, so I don't really feel like I need to get that. And you can order these things from Azure. I have not necessarily found on the ones you're gonna mill yourself. I haven't found necessarily that I think it's the same quality as what I get at the Bread Beckers. And so the Bread Beckers typically will cost more, but I do feel like the quality, it's a big difference in my opinion. That doesn't mean I think that Azure's bad. I don't, not at all. Y'all know I love Azure. But those things, because this is 25 minutes from my house, I can come get it. And I can also support a local Georgia business. I have been coming to the Bread Beckers now for over 22 years. Even when I was gluten-free, I would get other things. And so, as a matter of fact, I did several classes here when I was gluten-free, because Sue Becker offers classes on, well, a lot of different things. She teaches, but back then I did a couple different classes that were offered for gluten-free living and grains and, recipes and all that. And I really appreciated that, because I was very much at a loss when all that happened. And to be quite honest, there wasn't near what's available now. So anyway, this is their building. That's the little sign there. I'm not going to video in. I haven't asked, and I think that would be rude. So, but I will show you what I get afterwards, and tell you what I paid. So anyway, I'll see you after our shop. All right, guys, we got our babies buckled in. So we got our babies buckled in. We are done with the Bread Beckers. I'll show you what I got when I get home. It's hot, so I had to turn the air on. I'm sorry if it's loud. So on my way home, I got to head by Sprouts because I got to pick up some milk and just a couple little things I saw they had on sale. So anyway, I'll see you back at the house. Hey guys, we're back here at the house. As you can see, I did stop at Sprouts. That was my only stop after the Bread Beckers. It is like really hot. I think it's like 95, and it looks like it looks like we're gonna end up getting probably some more storms, and so I just wanted to head on home. So I did get my milk. It's in the fridge, and I needed some sour cream. I got that, and that's in the fridge. And then these are the other items that I got. I just got some buns for the 4th of July. We're gonna do burgers. I'm gonna make some potato salad. I did get my pineapple juice. This is 100% not from concentrate pineapple juice, because I'm thinking about trying to do, this has been This is a good year for zucchini for me, and I have been looking at a couple different YouTubers who have done the mock pineapple tidbits, and that using zucchini and pineapple juice. So I went ahead because I had it sitting there and picked this up so that I'm thinking about doing that. And so, but I don't have to do it today because I'm going to use a lot of my zucchini for a casserole for church tomorrow. So, and I'll probably shred the other up just because it's getting late in the day and I don't want to fool with that right now. But I have a lot more coming in. And I just succession sowed more zucchini. So I'm expecting that I'll probably even get more. So anyway, I picked that up. And then this was a find. I have no idea what I mean, I know I could use it in like maybe some Indian cuisine or maybe a lentil soup or something like that. I might could use it. It said it's keto friendly. If not that I'm not keto or anything like that, but just said it was keto friendly. But it was 50 cents. They were two for $1. So, and they don't go bad until, well, the Best Buy date is the end of 2024. So that is kind of how I stock my pantry. I find little things like that. I know that this is a staple kind of thing that I could use. I could possibly do a dessert with it or some savory saucy dish in the Instapot. So for 50 cents, and it's not, the sell by date's good for another 18 months. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's a good deal. So that's what I got. My main thing I wanted to show you is what I got from the bread Beckers. So here you can see that I got 2 6-gallon buckets of wheat berries. The one with the kind of dark rusty color, that is an organic hard red wheat, and the orange lid is an organic soft white wheat. And so I am kind of getting ready to add these into my diet with my kamut and my sourdoughs. There's just a lot more you can do when you mix your grains, and I feel like I'm at a place where I can do that now. So I went ahead and picked these up. So the hard red organic is like 63 and some change, and the soft white organic was around 60 and change. So here are some more items that I got. I got some new measuring cups. I really needed ones that had color on them to differentiate what the measurements are, because my white ones, the little markers have kind of wiped off, and so some of them sometimes I get confused on the measurements on those. So I got a new set of those, another amber glass, and I got a gallon bucket, which is 7 pounds of pink beans, which are a white kidney bean. Some people will call them cannellini beans. And I want to get these because I have a project I'd like to try to make using these. For a baked bean, I am allergic to Great Northern beans and navy beans, and you need a white type bean, pink. You could do a pink for a baked bean to get the right, I guess, texture, consistency. So, so anyway, I was happy to see that they had these. It was said they were sold out on the website, and the last times I've been, they've been out of these. And dried beans, like good quality dried beans, are expensive right now, and some of them are hard to come by. I also purchased this tea. It's a loose tea. They have a whole bunch of different varieties, and I thought that one sounded yummy. I just have this little tea kettle I picked up from Costco, and I can infuse in there or just buy the cup. And so I was excited I haven't had this one before. I've had it since I've been on this shopping haul, and it is really good, especially iced. I picked up this Gar Gum. They were getting rid of it. It still has like an 18-month shelf life on it. And so they had it clearanced out for, I think it was under $4. And you can use this in place of cornstarch if you're worried about using cornstarch. A lot of people are not big fans of it because a lot of the cornstarches say they use genetically modified products. So um, then I picked up this yeast. This is my favorite yeast. I always get a block usually when I go. It was packaged this year. It has 2 years on its shelf life, and when I use up what I have in the freezer, I will open this one up and put that in the freezer. And this is the Pomona's Universal Pectin. It is jelly and jam making season, and I love Pomona's because you can do a low sugar to no sugar with her pectin, and this one little box you can do several canning projects. So they carry her brand at Bread Becker's, and even during all the 2020 stuff, Sue Becker and them, they were able to keep the Pomonas on their shelf. These are the infused olive oils, and I got a new white balsamic. It's a brand new one that just released for them called the Summer Peach. It is delicious. You pair it with the Tuscan herb. And I did it for the 4th of July with some of my homegrown cherry tomatoes and cucumbers and some red onion and a little bit of the Salt Sisters Tuscan spice. Oh, so good. That one I love. That was a great mixture. And I'm hoping to be able to get some summer peaches from LJ, Georgia soon, and try maybe grilling with using that summer peach balsamic with them and see how they are. This is the first time I've seen them have this bag size with the kosher, the larger grain Redmond's real salt. So I went ahead and picked up a bag. The only other textured salt like that I have was that Celtic salt, which is fine, but this is really good for pickling. And so I went ahead and picked up a bag. And of course, my favorite Salt Sisters Tuscan Farmhouse. I love this, love this, love this. I will put a link to them in the description. But what I loved about this one at the Bread Becker's is that this is a large bag. My friend has a store, and hers just carries she only has like the regular size bags, so I was excited that they had this in the larger size because I use it all the time. If you watch me cook, you see me use it all the time. And then I was really excited because I've been wanting to try this honey. So this honey is, I will not pronounce it right, I'm probably going to butcher it, the Alphaha, something like that. And it comes from the Alphaha river bed area. And it is a mixture of wild honey, wildflower honey, and Tupelo honey. And Tupelo honey is supposed to be a little bit lower glycemic, so they call it like the diabetic honey. You still have to be careful. Full disclaimer, you have to be careful if you have diabetes, prediabetes, something like that. But it is a little bit more on the lower glycemic index. And this is raw honey. So if you're, maybe if you're going to make some elderberry syrup or something like that, medicinal purpose wise, or maybe you've got a little something and you want to make some with some hot tea and lemon or something like that, this would be a great one to get your hands on. And the past times I've been, they've only had it in the gallon size, which is like, I think that's like $83 or something like that for a gallon. And that's a little out of my price point. And I really didn't even know if I would like it. Since then, I have tried it. It is wonderful. I do love it. And this one I think was the 16 ounce, and I can't wait to use it. I haven't used it yet, but I can't wait to use it for my next granola project. I want to try to do a blueberry one, and so I want to use that honey. And so this was my Bread Becker's haul. This is what all I was able to get. And I will give you the price breakdown next. My haul here, that and all the grain, my total was $298.07. And so it's an investment. Of course, these were the most expensive, but that's a lot of food. I will say the dried beans right now are pretty pricey. Those were 25 bucks for that. Remember to be checking out places like Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. They have places in there you can search for these kinds of items. You don't have to have, there's different brands. You don't have to have a mock mill. Whisper Mill is an older one. The Nutri-Mill, that's another one that's been around for quite some time. And honestly, just to clean them, all you got to do is get you some cheap rice and mill a good couple, I think it's 2 cups of rice through it, and that's how you clean your mill. So if you're getting one used, not a big deal. And so anyway, be looking for those things. And then estate sales. I have friends who recently have found wonderful deals on like pressure canners and things like that at estate sales. And believe it or not, yes, there are people who have done the grain mills and things like that. Also, sometimes you may find something like that. I don't know why this is, but it's just true. If you've ever been a homeschooler or gone to like a homeschooling curriculum fair or a homeschool expo or anything like that, they usually have grain mills at those events. And sometimes you will find them used, sometimes you'll find them refurbished. So if you're in your area, someone's doing something like that, it doesn't hurt to go look. Because stranger things have happened. You can find things there. But anyway, I would just encourage you to try to look those things. And I can tell you that I had a Whisper Mill my first one that I bought, I got it, actually it was an open box and refurbished from some company in Nebraska, and I don't remember what. It was a long time. It was like over 21 years ago. And I was so excited to get on that. I learned of the bread Beckers. I was expecting my 3rd child at the time. And after having him, he had a lot of allergies and things like that. And because I nursed, that meant I had a lot of allergies. And I ended up not getting to use it like I wanted to use it. And so it sat forever and ever unused. And then finally I went ahead and I sold it. At the time I sold it for like $75. And because after that I found out I had to be gluten-free. I was sick and had all kinds of problems, and I was just like, it's taking up residence. I haven't used it. I'm not going to use it. And so I got rid of it. Never really thought much else about it until I started talking with a nutritionist about some deficiencies that I had that we get from whole grains, and not necessarily in gluten-free whole grains. So it was from that she worked with me to be able to use sourdough to introduce kamut into my diet very slowly, because I had been gluten-free for almost 12 years. And so yeah, and that's what I did. And I really wanted a grain mill, but at the time, all that was crazy hard to come by, because 2020, everybody was home, everybody was buying everything, doing all the things. And so it was a heart's desire, because I knew that was important to be able to mill it with the sourdough, to be able to, plus it's really hard to find kamut flour, and that's like an all-purpose flour. You can find einkorn, but einkorn actually has a little bit more gluten than kamut. Kamut has the smallest amount. And I personally just like the taste better, and I like the texture better when working with the kamut. So I just was the Lord knew what was in my heart, and I was just like, well, something will come up. And I didn't fret over it. I just kept on working towards my goal. And sure enough, someone I knew, their mom and dad were downsizing. The mom had a mill, and they were moving in. They had like made a basement apartment for her parents, and they didn't need 2 grain mills, so they were going to sell her mom's. And so I said, well, how much? I'm very interested. And she's like, well, we'd like to get $75 for it. I said, sold. And so that was what I sold mine for. It's the exact same grain mill too. I ended up getting this one back, and for the same price, and that was phenomenal. They go for a lot more new, but anyway, I'm very thankful to have it, and it gets the job done. And my family enjoys the end result. So anyway, with that, I'm rambling, I apologize. And I just wanted to show you that if you are local and you're interested, maybe you've heard on local radio about eating the bread of life, eating real bread, and you've heard commercials for the bread Beckers, but you've never went. You should so go. You should give it a try. And don't get overwhelmed. Like, don't go in and feel like you have to spend $1,000 buying all the things. Let them mill some grain for you. Go home and try it, and look at it and say, well, will I really do this? Or do I really feel like it's important? And if you do, then start working towards getting some of the equipment and things. And Sue has all kinds of great recipes and just so much help. They were so helpful to me. I've actually referenced this in some videos. I went and I talked with them because I've actually had done several gluten-free classes through them after being gluten-free and just being depressed forever. Because when I started gluten-free, there was barely anything out there, and on the market that you could find or even afford or any of that kind of stuff. So taking a couple of classes that she offered at the Bread Beckers was just encouraging to me and encouraged me to try to do things a different way. And I was thankful. But when I went in with this, I have a nutritionist working with me. I'm building a sourdough starter out of kamut flour and water. That's it. I'm catching those yeast I'm not using a Cultures for Health or anybody else's starter. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I was trying to go as purist as I could because I was introducing something back into my life that I hadn't had in a very long time. So I told her, and she gave me this printout, and it is 28 pages printed out that walks me through everything I needed to know about sourdough starter, about things, easy recipes to do a discard, more involved recipes, and it is well loved. It stays on my refrigerator to my favorite recipes, and then of course I've played around with them and added things like adding kefir to it and changing up some of the stuff that's here. But at the beginning, this was like a lifeline to me, and so I think very highly of the Bread Beckers and Sue Becker. She is a wonderful, godly woman. And so anyway, if you're not local but you're in the Southeast, they do have a co-op where they ship and things like that. I know it's a little bit different, and I've never had to do that, but I will put in the description their website if you're interested in finding out more about them and where all they do ship to, or where all they have co-ops that go to. I know they have like one in Florida. I think they have one like in South Carolina. But like I said, I've never participated in that aspect of it. But anyway, with that, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.